All right, class. So in the first video, we created the structure of an HTML page, and so in this video, we're going to actually build upon that. And so we're going to build upon that based upon what you've decided to build your web page, or how you decided to build your web page. And so just take out that outline, and we're going to kind of follow it. And one of the first things that we're going to do in this video is we're going to work through headings. Okay, so we've got our H1 headings all the way down to our H6 headings. Okay, so your H1 heading is going to be your main heading. And then again, just like we've talked about in the past, H1 through H6, it just goes from the largest all the way down to the smallest. Okay, so I'm going to use an H1. I'm going to come in and I'm going to space in twice. Okay, I'm going to go H1. And I'm going to say lid tech teach. All right. There we go. And the next thing I want to do in this video is we're going to talk about paragraphs. Okay, so well, first off, we can come over here and we can look and see what this looks like. So remember, we have a title right here, lid tech teach. We've got this heading nested underneath this body heading right here. And so we're going to come over here and we are going to see what that looks like. So there you go. Okay, so this is what an H1 would look like. I can quickly show you what an H6 would look like. So if I were to put H6, just like you guys remember, H6, and I say lid tech teach again, we can look at the differences there. It's much, much smaller. And just kind of a rule of thumb, probably on each page, you really want to just kind of try to use H1 once. And again, that's as your main header. I don't think it would probably be best if you went from H1 all the way down to H3 or H4. You probably want to go from H1 to H2. And then if you want to do an H3, you just don't want to skip around H1 to H6. And so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. All right, so on your web page, you want to make sure that you have at least one H1. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a paragraph. All right. So remember, paragraph. We are going to nest that again right underneath the body tag. We're going to put it right in the same level as H1. Again, it's just these right here. They're sibling tags to this parent body tag right here. And so in this parent body tag, we're going to put some text. And we're going to go out to Google. And I've already picked up something in Wikipedia. I'm just going to copy something for right now. Let's kind of hold it as a placeholder. Go back to brackets. Come in here, Control V. I've got a Mac. All right, so there's one. All right, I know I've got, for my page that I was going to create with you guys, I think I have 3 different sections. Okay, so I'll do another one. Well, first off, let's see what this looks like. All right, so that's what it would look like right there. So I'm going to go back to the brackets, and I'm going to create just another one, okay? I'm going to just kind of hold it as a placeholder, and I'm going to do one more. Again, I'm just copying and pasting from the Wikipedia. We're going to change that text up as well. I'm going to come back, and there you go. All right, so that's 3 different areas right there. We can kind of change that up, but again, we're just holding it there for us. So that is just using a paragraph right there. And then the next thing we want to maybe do is we're going to add a div tag. And we're not going to go too in depth with the div tags. And what we're going to do is well, first off, a div tag, if you remember, it's a container that will divide your page up into different sections. All right, and so for me, I had 3 different sections. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to put a div tag right here. All right, and I'm going to get rid of them. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get rid of that. In fact, I will Control C. Oh, I'll make Control C that, get rid of that. And I'm going to space this. So I'm going to go, all right, so my div tag is going to sit. In fact, I'm going to take this div tag and I'm going to put it right in line with my heading. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to space in twice. And this is where I'm going to put my paragraph. I'm going to come back just a little bit and see 1, 2. I'm going to hit enter right here because I want this in the same. All right, there we go. So this right here is a child of this div tag. All right, and then I'm going to come over here, and we will give this an attribute in the coming videos. And I'm just going to take this actually, and I'm going to copy and paste that. So let me get rid of this since I'm just making 3 of them. I'll come back. Actually, I'll use a space right there. Do it again. Control V. Awesome. And I want to make sure that they're all lined up. So I'm going to take this and just move this over. Perfect. Awesome. So I want you, in this video, I want you to create, if you've got 4 or 5 different sections that you're trying to create on your web page, then you create 4 or 5 different div tags with the paragraph tags. And then we're going to add some stuff in there like making something bold, and we're going to give it your paragraph or your div tags an attribute as well in the coming videos. So for right now, if you've got 4 or 5 different sections, then maybe put 4 or 5 different div tags in there with 4 or 5 different paragraphs. We will add some images in the coming video as well. Make sure you go and add a main header. So there's H1. In fact, we can go ahead and we can, like for me, so this is my main. I'm going to say, we're going to add another one. I'm going to put this, and I'm going to say H2, and I'm going to say this was about me. All right. I'm going to change that up on the coming lesson. And if I remember, this one was just kind of about pictures and videos. And then this one was going to be my contact page. All right, so let's go see what this would look like. Well, first off, let me make sure I've got it right. Opening, closing tag. I don't know why I just put a P there. That should be an H2. That should be an H2. It's easy to make mistakes here. That's why I'm going through this. H2. All right, there's a div, a paragraph. All right, so I got my opening, my closing tags. It looks like I'm good. I'm gonna come back, and this is what it looked like. So here's my H1, my main header, Lid Tech Teach. This is an H2, an H2, an H2. Here are my paragraphs. We have not added a bold text. We haven't added any images or any attributes at all. So we're gonna go back to the brackets, and I'm just gonna make sure everything looks good, just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. I think it looks great. Anyway, so that is it for this video. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.